Open House is sponsored by Pyramid Heating and Cooling.
The Pacific Northwest is filled with all sorts of different homes, from mid-century modern to farmhouse and every style in between. But it's rare to find a home or business that dares to push the boundaries of what's possible. That's where Ed and iBuild PDX come in. I've seen their work across town, and I'm blown away by what I've seen. One of their recent homes just went on the market, so I had to get a tour and learn how Edward and his team does their magic.
Ed, great to meet you. And I wanted to talk to you about what you guys do with iBuild and everything else.
I primarily establish relationships with architects and the clients that want to work with architects, and the design is really, really important to them. So it took us to this path of these ultra modern homes. So what does that mean? A lot of concrete, a lot of steel, a lot of glass.
There's so many complex details in simplicity, right?
They are. It takes a lot of work to make it look simple. Not every builder can do this. Some people actually don't want to deal with these kind of homes because they're complicated.
Yeah, they are.
So these homes are always like one-off, right? There's not another one like it. It's a lot of trust and a lot of teamwork.
And I love the little design details in kitchens because as a kitchen designer myself, this is one of those fun things that I love to see. The grain match panels, all little details of how the appliances inset into them.
It's all about the function, too, of the kitchen. You can have the range, over here, right? You can have the sink, back here. But then you want to think about that, saying, when I'm entertaining, do I want to have my back, towards my friends versus having it the other way around?
I'm sure you guys get a ton of design challenges working with architects, owners, ownership groups, whatever. Each house has to be way different.
It starts with the client, right? They have a vision and they come up with the craziest ideas sometimes. They want to have a cantilever, they want to have a garage, they want to have different things. And so it's actually really good for the architect too, because they can get really creative. They can put the creative hat on, and we've got decent budgets, to actually build these projects. We want to take away as much stress, from our clients as possible, right? Because it should be a really fun process for them.
We spent a lot of time inside here, but outside really tells the story of these projects as well. Should we take a look?
Let's do it.
This is beautiful out here. I love how this is set up on the lot.
So that's what makes this home really unique and special.
Well, and that's got to be part of every project you're doing, especially with contemporary, because nature is usually part of that.
It is, but it could be contemporary, it could be traditional, it could be whatever. But when it's actually laid out really well on the lot, people feel it, right?
Not only do you have to make it look good, but it has to meet all the codes and setbacks and all the other challenges you have.
You make a great point. I mean, there's a lot of restrictions all the time, on these things. And so you can create whatever you want to create, but then you do have to meet the codes. So it's a really good place to be, building these kind of homes, for sure.